Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.
If you have junipers, cedars, or spruce in your landscape, this is the time of year that you really need to be on the lookout for a very common pest in our area, and that's the bagworm. If you've had bagworms in the past, you know that they create these bags out of the foliage of the plant that they're feeding on. So if you're seeing any of these bigger sized bags, those are actually bags from last year. Those aren't the current bagworms. What happens is if you have some bagworms, they create this bag of foliage. The female stays within that bag and lays eggs. And so those eggs, which could be numerous, they can be upwards of 1,000 per bag, will start to hatch at the end of May throughout the month of June. So this is the time when you need to go out and start scouting. Now, there are lots of babies on this branch, and it is very hard to see unless you really get up close and start to look. I was out here earlier this morning and I found tons of babies on these junipers, unfortunately, and right now they're about 1/4 of an inch long. There's one right by my thumbnail right there. Really hard to see unless you know what you're looking for, but they start out teeny tiny. So you have these little eggs that hatch, they're little caterpillars, and immediately they start to feed on the foliage of the plant and create these little bags. Now as they continue to grow, they get bigger, the caterpillars eat more, and they create a bigger bag around that worm. So this is the time of year that they're hatching. If you have bagworms in your trees, we recommend that you wait until the end of June or the first week in July to go ahead and treat for them. This simply is because they do continue to hatch throughout the month of May and June, and so if you want to make sure to get good control of the majority of them, wait till the end of June. They're still going to be tiny enough to easily kill, and they all will have hatched, but they're not big enough that they're going to be causing noticeable damage to your trees and shrubs. Bagworms can be a pest on just about any type of plant, but they prefer these evergreen plants. So if you have junipers, cedars, spruce trees, certainly go out and kind of look things over, make sure you don't have bagworms. Oftentimes I'll get phone calls in August, because that's when you see these really big bagworms and they're doing lots of damage and they're starting to turn things brown and thin out the plant. And unfortunately at that time of year it is too late to spray because they are very well protected by that bag. So you want to get out the last week in June, first week in July, somewhere in there, treat for these little things. Now there's lots of insecticides out there on the market labeled for bagworms. Actually, last I had heard there was over 500 registered in Kansas alone to treat for bagworms. So there's lots of choices out there. Some of the common examples include orthene, malathion, 7, acephate, things like that are on the market. But like I said, there's tons of them out there. If you want a more organic type product to treat for these, you can use something like Dipel, which contains a bacteria in it called Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT. This is something that the little caterpillars actually have to ingest, and it kills them, so you want to make sure and get that on when they're small to have best control. The other thing, or the last thing I'll mention, is that even though these trees are large, we need to have thorough coverage to get really good control of bagworms. So not just spray the outside of the plant, but you need to stick spray wands inside of the foliage as well, because those bagworms can be right up against the trunk. So thorough coverage, proper timing, that's going to be your best defense against bagworms. If you have questions about bagworms or other pests in your landscape, contact your local extension office for more information. Reporting for K-State Research and Extension, Eagle TV, I'm Holly Dickman, Ellis County Horticulture Extension Agent.
Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.